we live? Are we already live? No, right? No way, right? Oh my God, we're actually already live. Holy crap. What's up? Okay, let's hold on. We're super live. Are we already live? We're super duper live, guys. We're super duper live. All right. Let's let people get in here. Hopefully they come, right? Am I right or am I right? Hey, Nicole, what's up? What is up? Hey, Matthew Turner, you got the shout out in the video today, you know? Your comment about Kronos definitely, I think that comment was kind of responsible for him even being in the video. So it was a little different than what you said, but it did get my gears turning and came up with his little, you know, the twist on his using his real deck. Scrub TV, what's up? What's up? What's up? Okay, just hold on a second here, guys. I think what I'm gonna do is like, give me a second. Let me think what I'm gonna do is just hold on. Sorry, folks. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is just like play it in the background, maybe. And then that'll kind of, you know, I don't know. And I can do that or something, or I don't know. Yeah, we'll just play the footage in the background and then I can put my little webcam over here. There we go. Thank you, Scrub TV. Thank you guys. You know, these take so long. They take so long, and this one was half the time of the last one almost, and it still took forever. It was more of a wait for you guys because the last one I had already done a lot of the um I'd already done a lot of the work by the time Duelist Kingdom was done because I was working on it throughout Duelist Kingdom, but I'm no longer able to front load. I'm just kind of starting when these end. Yes, so it's a predictions. The idea is that you can also do it like if you want to just pick your favorites. It's not necessarily you don't have to do predictions. I think most people are doing. Originally, I was like, oh, you could do your favorites, you could do predictions. I think everybody that's ever done it has always done predictions. Um, Thank you, Matthew Turner. Like, guys, I literally did not know how to use Photoshop or Premiere 1 year ago. I definitely did not know how to use Photoshop 1 month ago. I learned all of Photoshop since chapter 4, because I needed those black uniforms, and I like desperate. I used it a little bit in chapter 4, like the most basic stuff you could possibly do. I needed those black uniforms. They were key to. They were just so key, and I was like, I gotta learn Photoshop. So I had to teach myself how to do that. Um, and yeah, thank you. So I really appreciate you saying that. And but I am getting better at, you know, now that I've learned a lot of the tools and stuff, I'm getting a lot better at like the workflow, I think. And you know, I hope that chapter 6 will be less of a wait. We will just have to see. But it can you, Gungnir? Actually, can you? Because I know that some people in the past just did it some other way. Can you edit without buying Adobe? Because like I was trying to figure that out and I wasn't sure. I would love to know that for sure. Um, but yeah, I kind of wanted to get people's thoughts on the video. I know that I mean you guys have been very kind so far. I really appreciate that. But I'm interested in like learning Oh, thank you, Nicole. Yeah, the thing is like there's so many amazing comments, and I wish I was doing it earlier because people have influenced this series a lot. Oh, that's great news, Gungnir. That's great news. I will definitely make sure to let people know about that. Yeah, but the comments are just so important, and I like. It really was. Matthew Turner, your comment actually specifically is the one that like got me to do the idea. No, no, sorry, it wasn't you. That's embarrassing. It was the Millennium Eye comment actually that got me to do it. That was the first one where I was like, I really would not have even thought about this if someone didn't comment like, "Hey, is she gonna lose her eye?" And I was like, "Wait a minute, I need to think about that." Um, so yeah, and then once I did that, I was like, "Wait a minute, I'm actually thinking about using some other people's comments." So yeah, the you know the comments, they're just so key. So yeah, but I'm interested in knowing what parts work. You know, I've said it before, I'm a big feedback guy. I like to know what people, like what works for people, what people are like, you know what, that didn't really I didn't really get that or whatever. Like, I don't know, who are we rooting for at this point? I know Gungnir, you've got your in character as the Midgard Kingdom supporter, but aside from that, like, who are we like? Oh, this part really resonated with me. Like, what parts are people like really feeling? Is this not playing? Is the video not playing on the stream? Oh, the video's not playing on the stream. The inter-school tournament video, is it? Anybody want to let me know if the video is playing? Oh God. I don't think it is. Um Oh man, hold on here. Miho and Momo. Okay, I'm glad we're big on Miho. Did people notice that she gained an extra star in the middle of her bio? Because some people did not notice that. Um, yeah, she's up there. Okay, it is now. It seems like maybe it is not. Okay, I might need to actually keep the window open. Okay, maybe that'll do it. Maybe that'll do it. I just gotta fix some stuff here. Okay. Yeah, it plays sometimes. I think that if I keep it, it's weird because I'm not even minimizing the window. Well, okay, well, I'm troubleshooting that as we go here. Sorry, folks. Um, but hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Um, okay, there we go. It looks like it's working. So yeah, Miho. I really wanted to. She did beat Anzu in one of those early tournaments, and yeah, 3.5 stars. So her and Rinko, besides Anzu, of course, are the ones that are most likely to be able to give Judai and the Kaiser a run for their money. Um, I really did want to make this a anybody's game type tournament, so hopefully it ends up living up to expectations. Hopefully we don't just get the most obvious wins ever. Although, guys, I gotta be honest right now, I'm telling you, Anzu is so strong. Because if you win, you get the Millennium Eye, so you really couldn't mess around with that. It's like, dude, she's number 2 in the world, and if you win, you get to take the eye. Like, come on, come on. Paid photographer. Hey, man, listen. She's got a they got a good. You could shoot movies on iPhones these days. You know what I'm saying? You could shoot a movie on an iPhone. um, yeah, but yeah, I guess I don't really know what to talk about. I guess I people are often leaving thoughts and stuff, so I kind of just wanted to have this was a bit of an experiment, um to see if we could do that in real time, but I don't know a huge amount about what to talk about. I guess I can say, oh, here's something I'm gonna say, guys. I say this in the duels, guys. The epilogue in this chapter is gonna go crazy. I'm gonna tell you now, it's gonna have nothing to do with the duels because I wrote it well before the tournament. The epilogue is the very last scene of season 1, and it is going to take us out with a bang. It's going to take us out with a bang. Uh and it is like, I don't, again, I'm terrified of people's expectations being too high. So I don't want to get your expectations up too high. It's not going to be that crazy, but it's going to be pretty crazy, and there's going to be quite a few reveals in there. There's going to be quite a few things that we're like, "Oh shit, that's what's been going on." Um and it's going to raise a lot more questions, but it's kind of like the last, I say this in the duels, I think it's the last piece of this is the 5 introduction chapters, right? And I feel like I've been working on this big mosaic of this world. I've just been setting everything up, and we've got all these different people in all these different parts of the world and all these different power players. We got the kingdom, we've got the Domino High people, we've got the Black Dorm, we've got whatever the hell Jinochi's up to. We got the Millennium Alliance. We have all of these different factions going on. And We've got the Black Flag. Who's the Black Flag? What's going on with this the black watch for the Black Flag? We've got all these things. And then the very last faction, the very last piece of the mosaic comes into place in the epilogue, and then we're finally done with our introduction. So I'm excited for you guys to see it, but again, don't want to get too high expectations. Let's see. Um, Thank you, Nicole. The nobles is something that I've always been like. I really hope people like. It's definitely like big Game of Thrones energy. I'm very much like, I I have no idea if other people are into this as much as me, but I'm like, dude, we got to do noble houses, man. It's so cool. I love the like little the emblems of the houses. Like that's some stuff I just love from Game of Thrones. And I'm like, dude, we just have to do it. It like struck me. I did not think about it at the beginning of the series. It struck me while I was trying to come up with Obelisk Blue stuff in chapter 4. And I was like, hold on, I have to learn how to make these logos and create an entire noble system. I have to do it right now. I literally have to do it right now. I just did. And that took like weeks. That took like 2 weeks. That's not true. It took a little bit less than that, but you can't predict Momo beating the Kaiser. Hey, you know what? It's possible. Miho could do it. Miho could do it. Miho is strong, guys. Miho is really, really strong. Um, okay, thank you, Scrub TV. That was also influenced by a commenter. It's funny, the commenter, I actually literally had a Spider-Man Hulk joke for that scene already, but a commenter was like, actually came up with a very similar comment where they were like, it was like, oh, I could see it was basically like an idea of Judai giving Tyra one of his Spider-Man comic books, and I was like, dude, that's so much better. So that was one of those like thank you commenters moments, because yeah, the comic book really, I think, kind of put it, and I was able to find one that had the Spider-Man and the Hulk like kind of fighting on the cover. I was like, this is it. um thank you, Matthew Turner. And the thing is, like, the thing that I think is really interesting about the noble houses is that it's not even the Midgard kingdom, and I really this is like really worked out well for Miho's character, for example. Like the Midgard kingdom has been able to evolve into like multiple different factions. Like they're all, yes, you're here. Yeah, 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 yeah. I hope you like the shout out in the comment. In the video, I mean. So glad to see you. Yeah, hey, you did it. You got me. You got that line in there. I really, that was like a really great idea. Um, but the thing is that like obviously like all of them are loyal to the prince, and all of the houses, well, except for House Tenjoin and House Marufuji in chapter 4, they are plotting to overthrow. But most of them are loyal to the prince. But even the ones that are loyal, right, like it's always like a power struggle, and it's like if you can get your way in, you might not be as, it's always when I was able to do noble houses, then I realized like this is kind of one faction for a lot of the time. But if the right shit goes down or the wrong shit goes down, it's kind of eight factions right now, right? Like, especially some of the more secretive ones. I mean, House Kocho is very much like the prince's eyes and ears, so they are very loyal in that way. But they're House Kocho, right? I mean, how long? You never know, right? And so that was the thing with Miho, was like I did the Miho joining the kingdom thing was something that completely 100% was only because the White Tiger dueled Miho in chapter 1, and I was like, uh that could be interesting. I like had no I was like going through all the people the White Tiger dueled, and was like, is there any of these people he could recruit? And I was like, oh, I guess Miho, that could be interesting. And then, but originally it was like joining the kingdom, and I don't know, I was a little like, I didn't feel super fleshed out. But then by the time I got to chapter 5, it wasn't just that she joined the kingdom, it's that she joined House Tenjoin specifically. And that was able to take me like a really like interesting route. Um in that it's not just the kingdom, it's House Tenjoin specifically, and it puts it a little closer to home. There's a relation to Asuka there. There's a relation to Domino City there. They do control Japan. So I don't know. Yeah, very very, let's see, Hulk draw. I'm preferring Hulk draw. Most unlikely character to win, I gotta say, it's gotta be Ryuta. Guys, we cannot sleep on Shogo. Dude, Phaedron, the Wings of Mischief, God, I always do it wrong. Mischief. I say mistress. I say that in the duels too. Phaedron, the king, the whatever of mischief, the wings of mischief. That card is insane. That card's like Neospatian Grand Mole. That card is honestly too strong for Academy level, but I was like, you know what, Shoko could use a little buff. And his deck is like really good. He's kind of I wouldn't say he's most unlikely at all. Although his first round is against Junko, who's obviously very strong, and then even if he beats Junko, he's got to go against Anzu, which is so that might his bracket is really bad. But it would be cool if he got to duel Anzu for the story. Um, yeah, Diva. If you remember, you know, Diva was fighting to save his sister in Duelist Kingdom, and didn't matter what happened in that tournament, win or lose. Diva was not going to save his sister. As last that's last we've heard. His sister was ill, and he thought the Millennium Key would have these restorative powers that could save and heal the body. And Shadi was like, "Dog, that's not real. These people they made that up. That came on that's on the internet, dog." It is actually like wait, let's see. So we do know that let's see all the characters that dropped out. Any other big surprises? God, I'm trying to get to. Hold on, let's see here. Nope, it's there. There we go. These are all of our dropouts, folks. Unfortunately, I think Divas makes the most sense actually because of his whole sister plot line. Like he was doing all this to try to save her. So ostensibly, if that didn't end well, it makes sense that he would drop out. Jinochi, Honda, Bright Sparks also makes a lot of sense. Fortuno. Did anybody catch the Koji line? Fortuno's with the Denizens now. He's with Diesel Kane. What do the Denizens want with Fortuno? I think Reina also makes a lot of sense too. Yes, the students, yeah, who knows? They'll be back. Will some be evil, some be good? We don't know. I want to see what happens. See what House Coach O does the most. If Ron is trying to take emotion out of the equation, what happens if she just always to jump ship to the rebels? Interesting. The thing is that I feel like at least I think that my read is that Ron would probably, I don't know if right now she does want to take control of the kingdom, but I think that she's very pulls the strings. You know, I think that it would be a little early for her to decide that that's her best play. I think right now the Black Dorm is just like a group of kids, and it's like Asuka was telling Junko actually, like it's really risky to get involved with them right now because they're kind of flirting with treason, they're flirting with all these things, and I think that Ron could absolutely jump ship to the Black Dorm if they were to become successful. If like a successful like rebellion against the kingdom was going down, Ron might try to jump ship and sort of co-opt that. But I do think that right now it's probably in her best bet to stick with the kingdom and kind of play that. Kaiba to be the hero of the story. Where is Kaiba, guys? Where is Kaiba? We figured out at the end where Yugi and Anzu have been and why they couldn't. Well, Anzu did make it, but why Yugi couldn't make it. But what about Kaiba? What's going on with Kaiba, guys? Where is he? I mean, I think more on a basic level, it is kind of small potatoes for him to come to a school tournament. Like, the mother doesn't even go to school. Oh, I'm gonna go to a school tournament. The fortune teller guy, Fortuno. The thing is, I think there's some hints in there about what's going on with Fortuno. If you remember where we left off with Fortuno, and we do remember what we've learned since then, um, you know, what was the, if anyone remembers where we last left off with Fortuno. Imagine Jinochi was with Kaiba. Hey, we don't know. It could be. It could be. Yeah, no, Matthew. Dropout is a funny way of spelling on a murder spree for Bakura. Yeah, literally. The thing is, like, it actually, this is very funny because I actually did like have to think about like, am I gonna put Bakura in this image? It feels very weird, but like he is not there. Like the person Rio Bakura did technically drop out. So like I mean, yeah, I guess. Okay, I guess we can go back to kind of where we were around here, I guess. Oh yes, Matthew Turner. Yes, definitely. Yeah, so Fortuno did join the Denizens. Yes, Gungnir. But I guess the sort of question I guess that is still is like why, and like I think Koji raised the question of like what would the Denizens want with Fortuno? He used to be Koji's sidekick, and now I mean Diesel Kane is like I think he got top, I want to say top 16 at Duelist Kingdom. That means he's a pro. He's not a top pro. Or he was right after Duelist Kingdom, but it's been 6 months. You get top 16, other people are probably going to be overtaking you. He's not a top pro, but he is a pro. Denizens are like a national, an international name. And so, Fortuno being part of the Denizens, they're still based in Domino, but Fortuno being part of the Denizens is like, Matthew Turner, you're right about that one. He was reading the script ahead of time. He was reading the script. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, and then we've got this scene with Bandit Keith and Bright. Poor Bright. Poor Bright. Oh my gosh, guys, I have to tell you something. The thing is, I'm gonna give away all the stuff that I say in the duels. You're just gonna be able to skip the okay. The duels have a lot of ranting. I've learned my lesson. The thing is, I think last time I overcorrected by not ranting at all, and so but I realized that I think that a lot of what people felt in Duelist Kingdom wasn't the issues with ranting, but the issues were that I was ranting without pausing the duels, and then it was like, well, I'm trying to pay attention to the duel and you're talking. So I do pause the duels, but I do talk a lot. There's only 28 competitors, and it usually is exactly 2 hours to get through the first round with 32, and it was over 2 hours to get through the first round with 28, and that's because I do a lot of talking. So you might hear some of these bits again, but crazy story. Bright Sparks actually, there was a mistake in Duelist Kingdom. Bright Sparks' deck was the wrong, well, not the wrong deck. I was supposed to make, I had a note to make further changes to her deck, and I forgot to do it. So she was weaker in Duelist Kingdom than she should have been. I feel horrible about it because like the fact that she lost round one, didn't take a single victory, is now like such a key part of the story. And I'm like, damn, dude, that was an accident. But it's okay. We'll see where it goes. I just want Kariko to get out of her revenge sugar rush after herself. Sparks is gone. What now? That's the thing is like, I kind of thought about it for Kariko. She's like very explicitly like not out of that sugar rush. She's like, bruh, no, I don't give a fuck. I don't. She's like, I just wanted revenge and I got revenge and I'm happy. Like it's funny, like Blaze got his revenge kind of, and he's like actually like, wait a minute, that's actually not that fulfilling. He's got like a new friend, he's doing his own thing, like he kind of had his moment and now he's doing his own thing. Kariko's like, no. I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't do growth. I just fucking, hey, I'm just here to I'm just I got my revenge. I'm doing great. Keith swiped her cards ahead of time. No, yeah. Well, the thing I that could have happened. It could have happened. I do think that Keith is less of a cheater in this show. I know you're joking, but I do think that Keith is less of a cheater. Like, the cheating thing was always like weird to me. I thought that. I mean, well, no, it made sense in the original show. It's not. I think it's a little lame for this show. Bandit Keith, very philosophical. It's true. Yeah, come here. I do try to, even though everybody's kind of got their own flavor of how they talk. I do want everybody to kind of say something. When they talk, I want people to like say good points. Like even I think it might have been you, Gungnir. Someone said in the live chat when Ryuto was doing his silly thing, it was kind of like, well, he's not wrong. Like I kind of do like that. Like even when you're like even like people that maybe are like a little stupid or like they're a little off or like Keith, he's not like a philosophical guy, but like I do want them to be making some kind of point, even if they're not like that kind of character. Like I think this comes through with like some of the Judai and the Kaiser scene. Like Judai, even though he's kind of childish, like he wasn't making bad points, and neither was the Kaiser. Like I do kind of want to like have everybody playing at the height of their intelligence in the sense that they're like, they're not stupid. Everybody's in contributing something interesting, like mentally, and so yeah, Bandit Keith, he it would be easy to make a Bandit Keith that was just like, you suck, fuck you, I beat your ass. But he kind of was like, he kind of saw it. He kind of was like, you're smart, you got your own, but like, come on. He kind of like, yeah, I don't know. I liked that. So I hope you guys like that as well. Dude, Blaze got a fire in his belly. Um, Yes, you know, Otogi is in a great. Otogi is like one of the only Domino High students who's like doing great. He had his arc. He had his arc for now, at least. You know, pending future arcs. But he's like, he did his whole thing. He's like looking at Cargo. He's like, damn girl, chill. he's like, he's like, man, everything's great over here, man. We're just, you know, it's great. Oh, here's Miho, guys. I had so much fun with Miho's section. I've really gotten into the Miho character. As you can see, she's on the thumbnail, but that honestly was kind of because she just made for a great silhouette, her and the Kaiser there. I felt like that really worked. It was originally Rinko, but Rinko doesn't have as good, like, this art from Miho is by the awesome DGO DNZ on DeviantArt, and it just has so much more care. I did actually, believe it or not, Photoshop. The original sprite has a smile, and I learned how to. I literally turned her smile upside down to make it into a frown, and then moved it further down in her face, because the smile's there a few times, like some of the flashbacks at the Mystic Mine, she's smiling and stuff. I did edit DGO DNZ's sprite to make her, because I want. She's going through a lot. She was a little too happy. I was like, it's not really working for me. So I did again. I had to learn how to use Photoshop, and I did. And it actually came out really well. I also did that with Anzu. I used a frown. I made a frown out of one of her faces. Um, yeah, yeah, true, true, Matthew Turner, true. I'm glad you remember. Uh, miss anything interesting talking about Keith? Not really. I think I was just saying that I like to make sure that everybody has like a philosophical edge to them, even if it's everybody's making like interesting, actual, like relatively complex or like interesting points. They're not just like, ooh, I'm a bully. Even if they are a bully. Toromaki and Motatani. No, guys, even Motatani in his scene with Kronos, he was right. He was like, you guys can't put us in a lower dorm. And he was right. They can't put him in a lower dorm. Notice how Kronos wasn't like, yes, I can. What he said, they gave them jobs because it's like the only thing they could do. Because if you think about it, the reason that they're in trouble, I say this in the duels as well. I'm giving you all the stuff that I'm gonna say in the duels. You can skip the rants. The reason that they're in trouble is because they've embarrassed their families, and that gives Kronos and Professor Ayukawa the leeway to like actually discipline them. But if they got moved to raw yellow, that would embarrass their families even further. So they have to do a discipline that's like kind of under the radar. So even Motatani, he's kind of like, you know, he's on top of something. You know, they're not just boneheads. What inspired you to make Domino a Storm of Tragedy? honestly, honestly, the thing is, I just for almost all the characters, I really did just individually say like, how would Duelist Kingdom affect them? I did not plan to go here with Miho, for example. Um, Miho lost Bakura. Reina obviously when Anzu won against Prana, that was going to be really bad for Reina. And then Wisteria, who knows what she's up to? Stay tuned. Wisteria is on her own thing. So it was literally a point where like Miho lost the entire, like they're not there anymore. And like same thing with Shogo. I was like, oh shit, Yugi, Anzu, and Bakura, which I always kind of conceptualized like some of the original members. There was kind of this whole thing in season 0 about how Jinochi and Honda joined a little later, and like so I didn't fully like flesh out these were the founding members until this chapter, but it was kind of always the vibe. And so like, oh yeah, like they're all gone, like all these people are gone, and you know this kind of I did yeah. So it just kind of happened that way. And I wouldn't say it's all tragedy. I think that a lot of the dropouts might not necessarily. Well, yeah, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad over at Domino. But you know, who knows what we got stuff in store for Domino. We'll see. We'll see. Ah, there you go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She did get the star. Um there it is. Yeah. Yeah, the thing it's just Duelist Kingdom, you know. Duelist Kingdom when you think about the natural ripple effects, it just kind of goes out from there, you know. Um I will say, okay, again, this is another bit from one of the duels. I'm just honestly now I can just not rant during the duels. So I can just do it now. I can do it during these. Guys, the craziest thing ever. Chapter 6 is going in an insanely different direction than I ever imagined. It is like what I've come up with for chapter 6, it is going to be the basis for an entire arc. It's going to be big. Like we're out of the introduction chapter. Chapter 6 is where things kind of start hitting the fan. And chapter 6 was 100% inspired by I won't say what round, I won't say what game, I won't say what duel. There was a duel in round 1 or 2 of winners or losers of Duelist Kingdom, a duel that was completely accidental and completely random that didn't really matter that much. There was a duel in Duelist Kingdom that I was kind of like thinking through, like, could this be something? And it just went all downhill from there. That one duel spawned like everything. It spawned like the entire it's going to spawn so much of what happens next. It's already spawned some of what you've seen. I'm not going to tell you which parts because I don't want to spoil it, but it is really cool the extent to which like very random small things like the white tiger dueling ribbon by accident in chapter 1 and or have ended up like basically like just really changing everything. Yeah, exactly, Matthew Turner. Yeah. The pillars are gone, you know. And especially because I did do a lot of emphasis. Oh wait, was the Rinko scene confusing? I feel like I never felt like I feel like a lot of it didn't get time to breathe, and it was kind of like, wait, what's going on? What's going on here? Hold on, what's going on? And then it was just moving too fast. And even after I recorded it, I was like, I want to rewrite this, but I do try to move through these things. So I hope that like the Rinko thing made sense. If people follow this scene, it was moving very quickly. A lot of things happened in a very short amount of time. And I can recap it if people are like, what the hell happened there? Um, but yeah, I wanted to use Shogo's as an I knew even back in season 0 I spent a lot of time. If you remember, even like with Grandpa coming to the Duel Club, I spent a lot of time doing this like, hey, we want to play for fun thing. We want to play for fun. We're just here to play for fun. We're not here to like, everybody's always trying to win and we're just trying to play for fun. Even when I even when I started that, I was like, I'm doing this so that I can throw a wrench in this later. I didn't know the extent to which the wrench would be thrown, but yes. Yeah, she snuck onto the island to investigate a bit. She is an invoker. She has psychic powers, but she was not one of the experiments with Kinzon. But Kinzon knows her and had a flashback to his childhood and got a little scared because he remembered something bad. That's what we know. A lot of craziness going on with Rinko. Nicole, here's what I'll say. It was not Mokuba versus Rebecca, but I will know after this question. I will not yes or if you ask me another one, I will give you this one. It was not Mokuba versus Rebecca, but after this one, I have to say I don't know to all of them because eventually, if I don't say no, it will look like that's the one. So I'm gonna say it now. You can't. Whatever you ask next, you can't. No one can be like because I'm telling you now. I'm gonna say I don't know for all the rest of them. But it actually was not Mokuba versus Rebecca. Although that has that also has gotten my gears turning, but it wasn't the big one. Um, yup. And okay, hold on. Sorry, guys. Oh, and I did have to. You guys know the reason that if anybody saw the post earlier this week where I was like, guys, there's not going to be 4 secret duelists at the end. It's because I wanted the Anzu twist to like be cool, but I was afraid that people would think that there would be more of a twist. I was afraid that people would be underwhelmed because it'd be like, oh, 28, that's going to be like Yugi, Kaiba, Joey, and Anzu, right? And like, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Everybody just calm down, okay? So I was like, yeah, we're gonna have a twist at the end, but I want you guys to not think that it's gonna be bigger than it is, so that when it actually, again, I'm terrified of heightened expectations. No, not Arcadia Scrub TV. It's the thing is that the psychics, I mentioned this in the duels. I never said it in the videos. And actually it's not the thing in like the world yet. I'll just go ahead and say it. I think starting in chapter 6, there's the invokers and the enhance and all of these different things. Even I think the people with dual spirits, though I haven't fully considered whether spirit callers are part of this. They're all called psychics. Right now that's not a term yet. I think the way that I'm justifying that is basically that like the public starts calling them psychics, even though that doesn't really make sense for a lot of them. Like, would you call Kenzan a psychic? And like, there might even be I'm just gonna spoil this a little bit because it's like a lore thing. There might even be a line about like somebody that like actually like studies this. Someone like Daitakuji or someone would be like, the internet's calling them psychics. It's pretty fucking annoying. I don't know why they're called psychics. They're not psychics. Some of them are psychic-ish. But when I say psychic, it like psychic invoker, psychic enhanced. The Kenzan and Kagurazaka and these other, they're the enhanced. That means they just have some kind of weird power. Invokers are the ones that are like actually like they can like do some real shit. They can summon powers. They can use their powers. Mokeo is the only invoker that we know of, as well as Rinko now. And then Millennium items are also invokers, invocationers. Well, the thing is that Gungnir, I do want to make it forward looking. Again, I really do not want to make anyone think that we're anywhere close to 5Ds. But the reason I want to call them psychics is just because that is that's okay. Like it is psychics from 5Ds. It is the same thing. Like it is exactly the same thing. You think about what an invoker is, what you think about what Mokeo and what Rinko are, just think of Aki. It is the exact same thing. They can summon the monsters and they can use their powers with them, or even without summoning monsters, they can just like cause a bunch of crazy crap. Like they can harm people with dual spirits, basically. That's why I call them psychics, because it is psychics. Joey came out speculative at the end. I wouldn't complain. Joey. Drop in a kill squad. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. I'm trying to think who the kill squad. Yeah, and the Millennium items also allow you to invoke. So Anzu is an invoker now, but she's not a psychic because she's just doing it with an item. Yugi, Bakura, etc. I also feel kind of bad because I feel like the most interesting characters are the ones that aren't here today. Like I feel like people are like really interested in Reina and Bright. I think people probably like Rinko, and people like Miho now at least. But I do feel kind of bad. I was kind of like, well, you know. We got Shogo. Sorry guys, we got Shogo here today. Oh, a kill squad for the missing competitors. Yeah. That would be, yeah, the player killers, What are the player killers up to? What is Panic up to? What's going on with the Mimic of Doom? What are they doing these days? Who knows? I do. Sorry guys, sorry. Yeah, no. I the thing is, okay, here's another big thing. So I really am going to be reducing the amount of people in tournaments going forward. Again, this is from the duels. You guys will see this if you see the duels. I talk about this in the duels. I will be reducing the number of people in tournaments because that is a really, really good way to lower the amount of time between tournaments and keep the same quality. And the thing is, I think before my approach was have all the people that need to be here and then fill the gap between that number and 32 by putting in anybody that I'm like, I guess they could be there. We could see what they're up to. But I'm gonna change that and just do the people that need to be there. And it doesn't. Don't worry. I mean, some people you're gonna see a slightly less of some of the side characters than you normally would, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. I got a plan for everybody. Everybody's got a plan. Not everybody, but almost everybody. And everybody I've got what's the old Trump quote? I've got the outlines of a plan. I've got a conceptions of a plan or something like that for everybody. And so, some people might be there less, but I'm hoping, like, guys, if I have a 24-person tournament, you don't even understand how many places in the workflow that reduces my work. Like the writing alone, 8 less characters to write for, 8 less characters to do art for. If I have to like do scenes and like do all the editing for, 8 less characters to do duels for. Oh my god, it's like, honestly, like thinking about it, it gives me so much bliss. It gives me so much bliss. It's too good. So yeah, I am very excited to do like 24-person tournaments, maybe even 16. I don't think we'll go lower than 16, probably. But that way we can get these, just make them a little shorter, a little sweeter, but like full of just meaty, full of stuff. I mean, obviously, that's not gonna mean it's still gonna be a little bit of a wait in between. I'm gonna start doing content in between. I've got some few stuff. I've got a few things planned. I've got a high effort series. It's gonna need time. It would involve collaborations with every episode. It would be kind of like an actual high effort series. Um, but I'm really excited about it. But that's not gonna be for a while. There's some more of a low effort thing, almost like a let's play, but it's something that no one's doing right now. And there's like a should I just tell you guys? I'm gonna just tell you guys. No one tell any if you don't tell any other YouTubers, okay? Keep it quiet. There's a Master Duel mod that has have you guys seen the progression series with Simo and like MBT, all those progression series? There's a Master Duel single player mod that has progression series where you unlock all the packs in the Master Duel client and you play through every pack and duel 6 people per pack. And it's awesome. It's like really, really cool. And I think I'm gonna do that as like a let's play. And I did it once through like the end of GX just because I kind of did it for fun. And guys, I made the coolest deck. Like I think this, I don't know, it might be like, okay, what's this idea? I'm telling you guys, I think it's gonna be really cool. And that's a little bit more low effort. It's just something to do and like be able to talk to you guys and be able to like have a presence while we're waiting for the chapters to come out. Um, so excited about that. Yeah, exactly, Matthew Turner. Exactly. You know, Gungnir, you say these predictions. I can say a word. I cannot say a word. I'm sworn to silence. I'm sworn to silence. What can I say? Um. Oh, what did we think about this show and Mokeo scene with hold on. Oh, I don't know if people got the sort of final beat of that scene. I knew that that was going to be kind of impossible to even figure out what the hell was going on there. Um, I mean, not figure out what the hell happened in the scene, but even when I was recording it, I was like, this just isn't quite me getting the point across as much as I want. But if you remember, I even put it in the recaps to try to make it slightly more obvious. But when he in the last one, there was the whole point about how the scientist could not get Mokeo to become an invoker because he was too lazy and he didn't try to control his powers or anything. But then at the very end of this scene, he's like really happy, he's hanging out with Sho, and then both of them start to like kind of fall asleep a little bit. And I think that's kind of like a little bit of that's meant to be a little bit of a like a slight nod into saying like, hey, maybe he can start doing a little more with his powers because he's like happy and like with a friend. Um, and I think that was kind of the final beat of that scene. But how do we think about that scene in general? I thought that was so silly. I cracked myself up with that joke. I'm sorry. If you remember in the Mokeo Sho duel in chapter 4, Sho sat in defense mode and Mokeo didn't have any outs with his Moki Moki strategy to just sitting in defense mode because I'm so stupid. And I was like, wait a minute, that technically means Sho was being lazy because you just sit there in defense mode. And I was like, guys, this is the best joke of all time. But it was stupid. It was so stupid, but I thought it was hilarious. Um, Oh no, Nicole, message retracted. I would have loved to see your thought. When I did a question from we and just before I get into the Shadow Realm with Chaos Aliens featuring Snake Rain and Chaos Emperor Dragon. That's wild. That's absolutely wild. I'm trying to think of what are the light reptiles in like was this in like was this like more modern? Were you like doing like is autogoatic light? I think some of the autogoatics might be light. Like what are the light reptiles? Um it's kind of a cool idea for a deck. I think Chaos Emperor Dragon kind of could go with like snakes as a theme a little bit. It's kind of reptilian almost. Kind of like it. Um, Gungnir, I don't think you're. I think that Sho is. I do think we didn't quite get a lot of Sho in Judai today. We got a lot more. We got at least more Sho in Judai last time. So I think it's easy to forget like what Judai does for Sho. But I wouldn't. I do think that Sho is meeting other friends in this one. He's meeting Ray, he's meeting Mokeo, he's kind of there, but I think that each of the friends are helping develop him in different ways. I think that Judai, I think Judai, I mean, we can't forget, Judai helped him get out of his shell. Judai was the first person to like be nice to him and like show him some love and stuff like that. Um, so I do think that while he's, I think the very last line in Sho's bio is like, hey, at nights though, it's still just like old times. He's just with Sho and Judai and Hayato. They're just hanging out like old times. I didn't want people to forget, like, hey, no, Sho and Judai still got their thing going. Although the Kaiser's not wrong that Judai might be stunting his growth a little bit. You know, it's a complicated situation. Um, I don't think the takeaway from the show Mokeo scene when he was getting sleepy is that they're both lazy. I don't Show is not getting lazier by hanging out with Mokeo. I think Mokeo is that could be, you know, I mean, it's not in my mind now. Now that that's one of your takeaways. This could be one of those moments where I'm like, your comments influence the narrative because I'm like, well, I don't know, maybe, but that wasn't the intended at least. Like show my relationship later, who knows? And I like Mokeo. But oh yeah, yeah. I really I did thank Spell Commander 91 in chapter 4 for giving me sort of the impetus for Ray's character being like this kind of rebellious rebel, kind of like that in the anime, but a lot more focused on that in in this. And that was something I totally got from this series, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Rewrite by Spell Commander 91. And the same thing was true for the show and Ray friendship. That was something that he came up with because he wanted to give Ray something to do, and I was like, that is really, really good. So that still goes back to that original credit to Spell Commander 91. Even you'll notice in chapter 4, this was a first round duel. They were always going to be friends. This wasn't like, oh, they happen to duel, they're going to be friends. Like a lot of them, like Bokeo and Sho, I had no idea that was going to happen. But like Ray and Sho from the beginning, I was like, I want these two to be friends. Aliens have light and dark. True, 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 true. Oh, I love this scene. I love this scene, guys. I freaking love Junko so much. She's like one of my favorite characters. I hope she didn't come across as too mean. She's just like kind of no nonsense. Like she was shitting on Gokaido. And then to Hayato, she's kind of like, don't like skip the bullshit, brother. Like, what are you here for? What do you want? And I thought that was so fun. I freaking love Junko. And then Momo, of course, doing her little. She found a scorpion on Ayers Rock, Uluru, and she loved it, and she wanted to talk about it. Um, yeah, Hayato and Momo. Someone also mentioned this in a comment, and unfortunately, they didn't get a credit because I had also been thinking about this like like a little bit before. I don't remember who said it. It might be somebody here. Someone in a comment was like, "Huh, Hayato's got his whole Australia thing. Mokeo's family rules Australia. They're both spirit callers. Seems like that'd be a friendship." And I was like, I was thinking the exact same thing, brother. But they didn't duel in the tournament, so I was like, I don't care. I'll just make it happen. I'll just make it happen here. Um, yeah, it just seems, I don't know, something about it makes sense, I think. Tanaka, Ryuta. Beauregard's in red, guys. Beauregard's in red. Poor Beauregard. You know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? He's in red. Um, but the thing is, he's not. The thing is that Briar had such an incredible showing in chapter 4, and I felt like it was really weird. It didn't fit. It didn't fit for me to have Briar like doing great and Beauregard like. There's already a lot of like this person's doing really well and this person's doing really badly from like friends. You know, we've got obviously like the Domino High Duel Club people. We've got the Kariko stuff. We've got Reina and Miho, like all that. Like that's all. There's all kinds of conflict between friends splitting paths. And I was like, that just doesn't feel like Briar and Beauregard to me. They're just like boys. And so like because Briar did so well, even though Beauregard did horribly, I was like, I just don't think he's doing that badly. And even in the last one, he was like, I don't really want to win. I just like want to, you know, I like to tinker. And so it kind of worked out where I was kind of like, you know what? I'm not going to, even though Beauregard got demoted, I just don't think it's that bad. I just cannot imagine that that's like that bad of a result for him. Oh, and by the way, let's see. I'll remember the timestamp I'm at. How did you guys like these little I did a lot of these in the recaps and then also in like these. I made a lot of these. You can see it's like the new thumbnail for the series and the intro. I made a lot of these and I had a lot of fun making these little like tableaus of all the characters. Especially because chapter 1 had only intro cards. So, you know, I made one for the Domino High Duel Club, like here. And I made one for the Domino High Student Council, Kariko with her low resolution season 0 image. Hey, maybe someone will make art of her. This was also a lot better in color. The your vote count things had color, but I was like, oh well. And then the Mystic Minds, they've got their little title screen. I felt like these were like I thought these were so fun and they added so much, especially because again, chapter one didn't have any of these like images. So I really did try to, and then of course the Millennium Alliance has one at the end. They've got their little title card. Hold on, we're almost there. It's there it is. Yeah, they've got their little title card here. Yo, Matthew Turner, you are absolutely spitting. I'm writing that down. I'm so writing them down. I'm so writing that down. That's like such a good idea. Because Beauregard like really intimately loves the game, but he's not that competitive. He would be a perfect training partner for Briar while Briar's trying to climb the ranks and like become like, you know, he wants to graduate, go to the pro league, all that stuff. Matthew Turner, you can expect another credit coming in the future for you because I'm definitely taking that. It might not be for a long time because, you know, who knows where they're going to go and what's going to happen. But I'm almost definitely going to use that. In fact, well, I'll wait to write it down, but I will remember that. Like they both have me. So right now I'm feeling more about what you're doing in this video. I'm not quite sure what you're saying, what you mean, Nicole. I can't remember what you're referring to now that I've forgotten what I was talking about. Remind me what that's in reference to. It must have been something I was just talking about, but I don't remember now. It's totally gone. Let's see. And then was there any more of these like kind of cast shots? I like that term, cast shots. The genetic experiments kind of had one in chapter 4. I guess they've got theirs. Oh, guys. This was the most fun graphic to make. This one was so fun. Guys, the little Ray was here. Each of these Oh, I see. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Great. Thank you. That's good feedback. I thought this was so silly. Every one of these little things is like a different image that I turned black, like a different little like spray paint image I found, and I turned it black and then put it on the wall. Like this is the wall of the building, and they got their little like almost like Joker smile kind of thing. Like yeah, Ray would totally spell it like that. Like it's so silly, but it's like she would do that. She's like what? She's like 15. She would totally do that. She's 15 in this show. Okay, we're not. I don't. Again, I said it in Duel's Kingdom. I don't like writing stories about like small children. Everybody in the show is a little bit aged up. Well, all the younger people are a little bit aged up, so she's a freshman like the rest of them. But yeah, this like and this little the little smile. Once I found the smile at the end of this, I was kind of like, this is it. I found it. It's just like kind of like, you know, rebellious kids doing their little silly rebellious kid thing. I don't know. I think some of this stuff I end up it ends up being more exciting to me than it actually is. Misawa and Kagurazaga had an interesting weird thing going on there. I actually kind of wish I'd been able to make a few more rewrites to that scene. I hope it was kind of clear. America's, you know, he's got his thing going on with not his thing going on with Ray. That sounds weird. I don't even think he's talked to Ray, but he kind of had his thing from dueling her. He was kind of like, dude, this girl's rebellious, man. I kind of want to be like her. Oh, and then we've got Menjome. Yeah, as someone said in the, I think that was Nicole. As someone said in the live stream, had so much fun with this, and also it was impossibly hard. I recorded for 5 hours to get this monologue. I did it so many times I knew it like by heart. I could stop just reading. And then editing it together because I used a few different takes and kind of edited them together. It was definitely it was like a 10-hour day getting this one monologue, just the audio. That just shows how much time, why it takes so long to get these out. I mean, I don't want to, I'm not like, I know it's not like all that great, you know, it's just like, it's a little silly, but I mean, like, I just had a lot of fun with it is all I'm saying. And yeah, it was about a 10-hour day to get the audio down for this, just the audio, but I had so much fun because I really did. And I was house sitting in the duels. I'm at a different place because I was house sitting for someone, and I'm at this guy's home that I'm house sitting for my friend, and I like made sure to close all the windows and stuff, but I'm like screaming and I'm like cussing a few times, And I'm like, these people are gonna think that I'm absolutely insane. And I was like, I really hope no one can hear me. But like, there was one. It's the take that I use most. Most of the take is like I got to this one take where I just kind of felt it. Like, and again, I'm not saying the voice acting was all that great because it was truly just it's not. It's I know that it's actually not. But I mean, again, I'm just making the point about how much fun I had with it. I got to the point where I like finished it and I had this like anger, like I was like I had to breathe. I was like I got into it, like there was one take where I like really got into it and I kind of like lost it a little bit, and like that was the take that ended up most of it came from. It was so much fun. This time was where the second brothers of the Jew would be the only one who remember their parents. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you like that. Guys, see, this is like I need this kind of feedback on what things worked, like what things you guys liked. I because I never have any idea of like, did that read? Did that come across? I'm so glad you like that line because that's exactly what I was trying to get across that line. And like, yeah, I also with, like Shoji kind of is like, hey, shut up, Chisaku. Like, I think Shoji in this universe is the younger brother, but Shoji's scary. That long zoom in on his eyes. And this is entirely because I literally looked at this sprite, this exact sprite from Tag Force, and I was like, oh, this guy's like a psychopath. I was like, just look at his face. I don't know. He looks like a psychopath. I was like, we can make him a little bit of a psycho. Um, and oh, thank you, Gungnir. Okay, I'm glad you like that too. Okay, I'm so glad that came across. I'm so glad that came across. Because I was like, how do I get across that Shoji, that maybe even Jisaku's like a little scared of him, even though he's the younger brother. Like I think that's kind of an interesting thing too. Like I'm really glad that that came across in that line because I wanted to just show in like a very quick way. Um, and just like Chisaku's doing all the screaming and all the yelling and stuff, and Shoji's like just bringing it down, and he's like, "I will bury you, motherfucker. You better win this shit." Um, Shoji probably wouldn't literally bury him if he like got out in round one again because he would just disown him. But he would bury him before he let him topple their image. So if it came down to it, he would bury him. That's what he basically was saying. Oh, thank you so much, Nicole. Thank you. That is so. That is just that warms my heart. That warms my heart. Um, I mentioned this in a comment response recently. Like this has become like my life. I have a very fulfilling life outside of this. I'm in school, I have a lot of cool friends and stuff, but like when I'm not working on school or my summer job or like the few times that I'm still trying to make sure that I be social and like do stuff, I'm doing this. Like I don't like play games anymore. Like that Master Duel mod was like me being like I need to take time for myself and actually like do something for me because every second of every like weekend, every evening, I'm just like doing this and it's crazy. And it's like yeah, man, me and my 148 subscribers love this shit, brother. But it is labor of love. It's because I want to. There's so many fun things planned that I'm like I want to get to it. Oh, speaking of, can you guys make sure you like this video? I know that's so embarrassing. Not the stream, although the stream too, I suppose. I guess I should probably like my own stream. Um, can you make sure that you, because I know that I re-uploaded this morning, but then I re-uploaded again like an hour before the stream or before the premiere. I re-uploaded a new version of the premiere. So, if you haven't liked it, please make sure you like it, just because it it makes a big difference. And I think that's so cringe to be like, oh guys, like my video, but at this level, especially guys, the ban list came out today, guys. Why did the ban list come out a few hours before my premiere? Why did the ban list come out a few hours? That is the worst thing. That is like the like one thing that causes like a weekend to like multiple days worth of like a YouTube Yu-Gi-Oh news cycle. It's like the only time all year that we get like an actual like Yu-Gi-Oh like news cycle. I guess some of the updates from Konami, there's like a few other time when like they make crazy ruling changes that's happened, but like it is like the news cycle for Yu-Gi-Oh! And of course, it happened during my premiere date, a few hours before my premiere. So again, please like the video and just, hopefully we can I don't know. Hopefully we can get at least some people to see it. I'm not that worried. I think that it'll be fine. I think that I'm not that worried about it. I don't want people to worry too much about it. True, Matthew Turner. True, that's very true. They're just dropping them. They're just dropping them. Let's see. We've got Tormaki Moritani. Had a lot of fun with that scene. Had a lot of fun with Kronos' facial expressions here. They actually just happened where he's like, actually, I can. So stupid, but whatever. I don't know. The facial expressions. I've gotten a lot better at timing them. Like they still look it. I know that the sprites are kind of silly looking. I know that they are. It's the best we can do. But I've gotten better at least timing them to where it kind of looks like the person's talking sometimes like um I've realized that it is mostly a question of timing, and if you get them on exactly the right second while they're saying their line, the transition works a lot better. It still, again, isn't great, but it works a lot better. Juko and Asuka, again, I wish I could have made a few more edits to this scene. I'm always trying to ride the line between like corny or like too cheesy versus like I do want it to feel heartfelt. I don't know. This one I'm always on the edge about. I liked it. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Probably would have made more changes if I had more time. Popular meta card in Zero Chronicles that most people hate with a passion. That is a great question. So I did set up in chapter 4 that in the Pro League, they're messenger of piecing and gravity binding for sure. So I think that's probably part of it. Let me actually hold on. Let me open. That's a good question. That's what we're here for, is those kinds of questions. Let me take a look at some of the decks from the next chapter. Make sure my EDO Pro is not on stream here. That's a good question. That's a good question. What's some of the most annoying decks that we've got here? Let me see. I mean, obviously, Messenger of Peace Gravity Bind is pretty annoying. I think because I've got to think through. I don't think Mirror Force is widespread enough at this point. Still, as far as we know, only Yugi and Anzu are running that. Um, that's a good question. I feel like it might actually just be Gravity Bind and Messenger of Peace, but I feel like there's a slightly more interesting um interesting choice. I'm gonna think about that. Oh, my turn. No, so he he kind of owned it in that moment. It's true. I think he was kind of slightly more just making the point of like, because you're the court jester. He's basically saying like, well, you're right. I did spend a lot of time in court. I don't think he's quite aware enough to own his silly gestures. I think that he's a little. We don't want to give him too much credit. He's still Kronos, and it's. I mean, in the show he grows a lot. Maybe one day, or hopefully one day, he could grow here. We don't know, but at this point, I think that makes him a little too self-aware. But I do think that there. I like that we did see this kind of side of Kronos where like he did. He got owned a little bit by Modatani, and then he kind of flipped it. He did flip it back. What does my each experiments hate the most? Well, the thing is, the experiments don't play with like the meta. There's like the academy meta, and there's the meta. There's the like advanced meta with the pros are dealing with. Like the academy meta, like again, they don't have stuff like heavy storm. They don't have floodgates. Um, but Academy meta wise, I would think Wall of Disruption is like the most annoying card for anybody to do against in the Academy because it's just widespread enough. I think Misawa has it. I think Kaiser has it. Kunisaki had it last tournament. It's like the mini Mirror Force that at the Academy level is probably the most annoying card to deal with because it basically Mirror Forces you. There are other cards that are individually annoying, like Momo has like Fencing Fire Ferret. I'm seeing here. I'm looking through some of them right now. But like again, like it's hard. It's your question requires a card that's at least relatively widespread because it's like if you're doing one person, they have an annoying card. It's like okay, well that's annoying, but that's just one person. Lightning Vortex, of course, is owned by a few people. Oh, you're right. Oh, okay, Matthew Turner. Thank you so much for that intel. Thank you for letting me know. Hold on. Hope that hasn't been happening for a while. Let me.
And he helped Marin, remember?
Oh, okay. Gungnir is saying that it's good for him. Okay. It's okay though, Matthew Turner. You guys let me know if the audio's not working at any point. Even if you're not sure if it's me, I still want to know so I can at least just make sure. You're right though. You're right, Matthew Turner. Matthew Turner is always on the ball with these details. It does have to be. It is Nobleman. It is Nobleman for the academy level. It has to be. It's become a plot point about it. It's become a plot point. There's got to be one at the pro level though. I'm thinking about it. No, I can't be that. That's only a card that one duelist has. I'm not going to tell you what it is, though. Maybe Cyberjar also is really annoying. Cyberjar is like, what isn't quite matching in the video. Okay. So we've got a few people saying that they've got a few issues here. Hold on. You know what? Let me let's hold on. I should have connected the Ethernet cable before I started doing this. Not matching up with the video is weird, man. What the hell's going on? All right, give me a second. Nicole can't hear me? Okay. Okay, I think maybe can everybody try refreshing? Because I have just refreshed. I didn't actually see if there was an issue on my end. Yeah, okay, refreshing. Okay, something must have gone crazy with the stream, but I think if you refresh, it works. Because once I refreshed my page, everything worked. So, yeah, sorry about that, guys. But yeah, Ron is one to watch, guys. Ron is definitely one to watch. She's up to no good. Up to no good. Who are your favorite characters? This is what I'm dying to know. I really want, like, if you picked like 3 to 5, I really am interested in knowing which of the characters resonated most with y'all out of these 28. There's no limit on the amount of them that you can say. You can just basically say as many people as you want. I know that someone, I think that was Gungnir maybe, that said Miho and Momo. I also think limiter removal is probably very annoying at the academy level, because at this point, Manjome is running machines now. The Kaiser's got machines. I don't think Sho has limiter removal yet, but I think maybe Kunisaki had it as well. If he didn't, he should have. There's an oversight, I think. Yes, Gungnir, the Momo Simp. That's right. Let's see. Okay. You know, I'm probably gonna go in like maybe like 10 minutes. Rinko. Okay, cool. Yes. Love Rinko. Yeah, we're probably gonna do only about 10 more minutes. I don't wanna go too long here. I do have it's actually a friend's birthday party tonight, but I had this all scheduled. So I was like, all right, I'll be late. It's fine. I'll be there for the after dinner drinks. So I do have to make it to that. But I'll stay about 10 more minutes, and I could just make sure we talk through some of this ending stuff. Pro cards, I want to say Ring of Life, if cheap enough. Interesting point, Matthew Turner. That's an interesting point. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think that, you know, what's funny is that's not necessarily only a pro card. Sho actually has Ring of Life in his new deck. That's only because he had it in the anime. And I was like, all right, Sho. Sho was actually the one who originally used it. I think it was in the duel against the Kaiser. Sho has it. I think like 1 or 2 other duelists actually have it at the academy level too. I think it's actually one of those cards, I think, that's kind of at both levels of play. But I agree that it's probably pretty annoying at both levels of play. Although I gotta say, Ring of Destruction is not at the academy level. I think Ring of Destruction is probably worse in the pros. Ring of Destruction is such an asshole. Being able to just be like, yeah, I know that I didn't win this turn, but I'm gonna win during my next draw phase by killing my own monster. Like, it's so good. It's just insanely good. I have to imagine Ring of Destruction is doing it. There are some real, oh my gosh, guys. See, chapter 6 is gonna have some of the strongest cards in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. We're leveling up. Chapter 6, there are some cards right now that I'm telling you, they're not widespread. They're boss monsters or specific to certain decks. So that's why I'm not answering them for this, and also because I don't want to spoil. But you're going to see some classics, some non-show, like Yu-Gi-Oh classics in chapter 6. I'm very excited. I'm looking at the decks right now and I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be some cards that are just absolutely so mean. Like so mean. Not like too new. I'm talking like, think like if Duelist Kingdom was supposed to represent kind of GOAT format, we're kind of still uh thematically, I think around like from GOAT format to through like end of GX, early 5D stuff, but like not any of the synchro stuff, obviously. Like some of the boss monsters from around those times, some of them a little newer too. I don't know. Just think through some of those things. Definitely some newer. There's definitely some newer cards there. But yeah, there's gonna be some absolutely annoying cards. You know the gentleman rule of Dragon. There is not a well, it's not a gentleman rule in universe. It's actually it's just like on the card. I'm so surprised that you remember that. That's so cool. Yeah, so the gentleman's rule, I like if I cared enough, I would pay one of the scripters from that I communicate with on Discord to make the dual spirits. I would just pay them to be like, "Hey, can you change this card to like not to require the actual fusion materials, not King of the Swamp?" So in universe, it wouldn't be a gentleman's rule. It would just be it requires Black Luster Soldier and it requires Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Um, I think everything to do with okay, cool. Okay, I'm really glad that that's working for you, Scrub. I the black, like I said, the black uniforms took a lot of time. So I mean, once I learned how to do it, it wasn't that bad, but it took a lot of time to learn. So I'm glad that that's the case. I was hope at the beginning I was like, oh, they're not participating today, and I was hoping people weren't going to be like, okay, well, I'm out. Fuck that. Because they were they were both in the episode a lot. Like, and that was one thing that I really wanted to do with chapter 5 was the amount of actual competitors was small, but I think we got to see a little bit, or at least hear about a little bit from every person from chapter 4. Everybody in chapter 4 either showed up or got mentioned. I think RIP Seiko, I really wanted to find a way to fit her in, but again, it's just trying to get these out, and I didn't have any scenes with Seiko. She got mentioned by Ayukawa. It was close enough. Kunisaki, his face is appearing every here and there, but he didn't get any. And I guess Pegasus kind of mentioned him, but he didn't know who he was talking about. So Kunisaki appeared too. So like everybody, so even though the Black Dome didn't participate, it's like they were just throughout. So we did get some good development for them and some talking through that and stuff like that. Show and Ray, okay. Okay, I'm so glad that worked for you, Nicole. Yes, yeah, awesome. That one, I was really happy with the shows section. It just worked, especially because she had the crush on his brother. Like it just really works, right? Like giving up the crush for like an actual friendship with the little brother, like, and it just works so much with this like rebellious thing. And like even in the anime, it's based in the anime too because she's always got that like she's always got like a project. Like Martin Marcel, like that's her little project. You know, she's like, "Where's Martin? Where is he? Somebody find Martin. Is he okay? Hey, where you get over here? Come here, Martin. Somebody like, you know what I mean? Like she is always like, where's that little boy? Where's my little Martin? Where is he at? She's always like following him around. She's like, Martin, come here right now. Like she's just got that. I think that that's like this very small amount of character she gets in the show. Like they never explain why, they never flesh it out, but she is always like bringing him into the scenes and stuff somehow. So I'm like, there's a little bit of a basis for that too. Okay, Millennium Eye, Anzu, Alexis gone rogue, Diesel Kane. Okay, we got Diesel Kane's here, friends here. Ron trying to play the spider, and Wisteria being MIA, definitely not hanging out with E. Okay, interesting. That's so interesting. Okay. I love to see that. That's like so. This is what I'm saying. This is all like super fascinating for me. Just like knowing what's resonating with people and what's not, or not what's not, but what's resonating with people. So yeah. Um, these are all big picks for me as well. I'm not as huge of a Diesel Kane fan, but I am really definitely like trying to make sure that Diesel Kane. I'm trying to make sure that he gets. He's been important enough that I'm definitely not. I will not be abandoning him or anything like that. But there are other four that you mentioned. Big fan here. Obviously, you can tell that I've been trying to give Anzu, Alexis, Ron. Been trying to give them all development. Wisteria, what's going on with her? Where's Wisteria? Waiting for Daichi comes back as a 4.5 duelist. Hey man, my lips are sealed. I don't know. I don't know where Wisteria is. I got no idea where Wisteria is, guys. No clue. What's going on with her? Did this Pegasus like moment work? I don't know if it like really like the idea that he actually like they were rebelling against him, but he's such a like master manipulator that like he liked it. But I don't like yeah, like I really wanted to make Pegasus like I really love the idea of Pegasus as this just master manipulator behind the scenes at all times. Like he's really like compelling to me as a character. And but also he's got this heart. He still has this heart. Like he still has like a lot of heart to him because of he's like on a mission. He's like overridden with guilt and he is just on a mission. And like he will do anything to like get that, like make sure that like um he gets his revenge against the kingdom. And there's a darkness to it. Like I'm not it's like not like great, but it's also I think it's like gray. I still don't even know how I feel about it. Like it's not great. He's you know, is this the right way to teach people? Is it going to backfire? Like you're kind of manipulating them. Like what happens if they find out? Or like is it actually better in the long run to teach people by manipulating them, or is it a better way to teach people? Like who knows? But it's like I think it's interesting that he's like going through those lengths. um I have some attachment from seeing Diesel in the old DDM game, but he really did show up out of nowhere and push Yugi to the brink in Domino. Okay, yeah, yeah. No, hell yeah. No, Diesel did it. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And that was like that was exciting. Oh man, I'll never forget we went that was the first time we went to the second match in the finals, and I was like, oh shit. Um yeah. Oh, the gentleman rule are or no, the thing is like this is the case for there's a few other cards like this. I don't know if we how many we've seen. I know there was at least one other that we've actually seen. There's more that we'll probably see going forward. The idea is just like I want to live in a world where hypothetically in one of these tournaments, if Yugi uses Monster Reborn on Kaiba's Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, he could summon Dragon Master Knight because that shit will be hype as hell. But Yugi had King of the Swamp in his deck, and if he had Dragon Master because he had Dragon Master Knight and King of the Swamp, he could have summoned that card basically every duel. And that didn't feel right at all. Like he should have to actually have Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. So that was the reason for the Gentleman's Rule. We'll see this other cup stuff like this. Like, you can bet your bottom dollar we will not be seeing Dragoon of Red Eyes for anywhere close to the near future. But for some reason, if we were going to see that card, I'm just using that as an example. Like that would be another card that would definitely have the similar Gentleman's Rule. Like you probably couldn't just make that with Dark Magician any dragon. You'd probably need Red Eyes. It would need to be a duel against Jinochi, or for some reason he would have to have Jinochi's card, like in Battle City or whatever it would be, or Jinochi would have to have his card or whatever, you know. But like it, yeah. So it would basically exist for any card in which like it would require someone else's monster, but they technically have a way to get it out without their monster. It's like no, you need their monster, brother. Pegasus comes for mission on mind control only manipulates was already there. Yeah. He was already a skill mission for their own good. Yeah, okay, great. I'm so glad that you liked this. Okay. I had a lot of fun writing that. I think once it came to life, I was kind of like, I think this still works, but it might be confusing. It might be like, are we are we vibing with this? So okay, I'm glad that worked for you at least. If I do so final share carries sorry, final character, I gotta be Judai Yuki. How his journey is going on to being a total weirdo. So much. Can everyone spread happiness? But yes. Judai is just out here living his best life, man. He's like, that's the thing, is like he's childish and like so silly. But he is the Tanaka scene I think is really important. Um right, because Miho is in the Judai bracket. So you're saying I see. So you're saying you're saying because Miho's in the Judai bracket, she has to beat Judai I think she beats who is it? She's got to beat I remember this. America, and then she's got to beat Misawa or Blaze, and then is it Judai or whoever beats Judai? Yeah. So I see what you're saying. So you're saying that if Judai gets out, yeah, I see. But yeah, the Tanaka scene is very important actually because it does show like Judai is actually like even like Misawa, like he didn't, you know, he's like he's got his own friend now. Like he's kind of doing his own thing. He's still obviously going through some stuff. He's like figuring himself out. But like Judai pulled Misawa out of his shell. Judai like made Tanaka feel good, even though Tanaka's kind of a hype beast. That's based on his character in Spirit Color. There's like one or two lines in Spirit. Like Ryuta and Tanaka's characters are literally based on like the one or two lines they say in Spirit Color. And Tanaka's got this one line where he's like, "Man, I would like to be a blue, something a yellow. Oh, but they never love a red." Like he's just like he's just the blue, the yellow, the red. Like he's like very. So remember from chapter 4, he's like very obsessed with like the social scene, you know. And so that's like the one line that I. So Tanaka's kind of hype beasting with Judai. He's kind of like, oh, this guy's famous now. But there is that like heart there because he's like, he made me feel good, and he was like, hey, you don't suck, man. Um, and again, same thing with Misawa pulling him out of his shell, and Sho. You know, Judai's just spreading happiness across campus, and he is, you know, I think he is kind of a hero to a lot of people, even though he has no idea what that means, and he's very childish. Doctor's note about math can't save Judai now. True, gotta read the brief. No, you know what? That's actually I also like I didn't fully like conceptualize this when I was writing it, but like kind of going back over it after I've written it and like kind of going back over, especially after like it was like recorded and edited. I do think it matters that Judai read them. Like he's like I don't think the Kaiser gave him quite enough credit. I mean, the Kaiser's like, you know, the bar is below the floor for Judai, yes, and the Kaiser's not going to lower the bar for him. But you know, like there could be a version of Judai that he was like, "Did you do the readings?" And he was like, "Nope." But he was like, "Yeah, it took me all night." And he's like doing all this complaining and he's joking around and da 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 da. But he did read them. It took him all night, but he did read them. It's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like, all right, Judai, you did the readings. Um, um, Ryuta was always a wannabe in your head. Oh, so Tanaka was the one that wants to be in the social circle. I forgot to do the so Ryuta. So Ryuta's line is based on, it's like such a stretch. Ryuta's line is based on this one. I think he's the one in Ishiki. I want to say mention something about it too. I think Ryuta. The reason Ryuta and Ishiki are friends is literally because I think Ishiki is the one who says that there's rumors about an abandoned dorm. But Ryuta also says something about mysteries on the island. They both have a line that hints at mysteries or the abandoned dorm, whatever. So like Ishiki finding the abandoned dorm in chapter 4 is a reference to the fact that he's the one who says that line in the game. That's like where that originally started from. I'm telling you guys, it goes deep. It goes deep. It goes deep. um, so that's why Ryuta's got his. That's why they have their whole thing, and that's why Ryuta's got his whole kind of dark thing. It's also because there's also another reason why Ryota is a little darker than Rishiki that I'm not gonna say yet because it's a bit of a the other thing that I based it on hints at some other stuff that I'm not gonna tell you. So I think the Kaiba forced Pegasus universe to make it they can't use mods with futures. I just think that's just what the cards I think it's just what the card says, Arno. You know what I mean? It's just like it's like how they have anime cards. It's like just in that version of the game, it just doesn't have that effect. Although I don't know, I could think through that. There could be something there. The thing, I mean, yeah, because Pegasus does write the rules. He doesn't invent the spirits. He finds the spirits because he has an army of little spirit callers who work for Industrial Illusions, and they spend all day in the spirit world meditating, and then they find the spirits and they draw cards out of them. But he does make the effects. It's an interesting like a super niche weird point that I never thought of that like kind of came up in Daitakuji's monologue in chapter 4. This probably will not be a plot point, but in Daitakuji's monologue, I had this line where it was like, as long as the game is played in fairness and resolved in full, and like that's kind of the rules of like the rule of the duel. It has to be played in fairness and resolved in full. And it kind of like this is mostly just a funny thought. This is not gonna be a plot point, but like it kind of put me in this situation where I'm like, Pegasus actually has to design. He has like a duty to design the rules at least somewhat fair enough, or like the game could lose its power. like if he designed like if he released what's something if he released Tier Limit today, you know, to be like, dude, look what you fucking did. Look what you fucking did. We don't have the spirit's power anymore because the game has to be played in fairness, and this is not fair. If you released Chaos Emperor Dragon in 2005 in the real game, anyway, that's not a real plot point, but it's kind of funny. Misawa could set up a counter spy web. Okay, I like how we're thinking. Misawa is about the rebellion stuff until he isn't. The thing is, if you don't pick a side off, and people, oh, you guys are making we got some good stuff going on here. Hold on, let me read all these before I respond to this. Skype Corp and Pegasus produce cards exclusively, only them. Pegasus and Industrial Illusion are the only ones who produce cards at this point. Maybe other people will produce it at later points. I also think, I don't know. Kaiba Corp's not. I will go back to this Masawa point. I think this Masawa point is interesting. Kaiba Corp's not divorced from the process of making cards. They obviously like making the dual discs and making all like they make all their money because they make all the tech that like makes the game more fun to watch. But I also think that Kaiba. I've got notes on this somewhere. There's got to be. I think there might be some relationship down the line between Kaiba Corp and making the cards that I haven't fully fleshed out yet. As of right now, at least, they don't make their own cards. Pegasus is the only one who actually produces them. But I think they might be involved in the process in some way, but I haven't fully fleshed out how. There was a reason why I felt like they needed to for a plot point, but I don't remember what it was. That's a kind of... he's smart, not convicted. I feel like he's going to make... Yeah, I was reading it. Okay, so this Misawa point is very interesting. I really like this idea of Misawa having the counter spy web, but I think you're absolutely right, Gungnir, that he's like not involved in this at all. But it's interesting because it does seem like he could do it. It kind of reminds me of like a scene in like a classic action movie where you're kind of like, we're gonna have to go see Joe. Yeah, we gotta go see. And then they go to like the guy, and he's like, I'm not into this stuff. And it's like, but you're the only one who can do it, brother. Like, I don't know. There could be something there. There could absolutely be something there. And I really do think that Misawa, yeah, he could do it. The thing, it's funny that you guys are like really, we're kind of running with this idea that Ron has like this very explicit plan to like do something crazy. It's interesting. It's interesting because like the thing is like Ron's. I mean, I'm not saying she doesn't have a plan, but like, well, I don't know. I think that. We'll talk. We'll talk. We'll talk. Don't worry, guys. We'll talk. I won't say anything yet. But yes, Misawa's smart but not convicted. But if the thing is that he needs a Ray. The question of whether or not he would be able to counter if Ron is in the background plotting. There's a lot of plotters on the island, you know. So I guess that's what I'm saying. I'm interested is that like you're focusing on Ron's plot. Ron's got a plot, sure. A lot of plots. What about Kunasaki's plot? What about all these other plots? You know what I'm saying? Who knows? But I do think that if Misawa had a Ray type figure to bring him in, maybe he could be involved. Someone would have to go to him. I'm thinking Bakura appear out of nowhere at some point and do a Jafar and start a war. Very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Jafar, is that Aladdin? Is that I think it's an Aladdin reference, right? It could happen. It could happen. It could absolutely happen, Junk. That's a very interesting prediction. What is the meta card that each the Domino 3 hate the most? Oh God, I don't know. You're gonna give me a second. I'll think through that. It kind of depends on who they're dueling. It probably would just be something in like Isis's deck, or because Isis has been running them through the damn ringer. She's been putting the screws on them. Let's see. Also, if we're gonna be stuck on a screenshot, I might as well press play here. Archkaiba eventually gets involved in artificially strengthening spirits. All their attack retrains are the same monster, but something clearly changes. That's interesting. Well, the thing is that I don't think that they would like, at least not, because the thing is like to actually artificially strengthen a spirit, you'd have to like capture the spirit, and like even dual spirits in this world, they're not like, it's not like the physical spirit. You're not like holding Wing Karibo, right? It's kind of like it's an alarm. I do need to go relatively soon. Hold on, give me a second, guys. I gotta go soon, but I'm loving the combos we're having. Hold on, give me a sec. Um, the thing is, no, Matthew Turner, I'm not saying you're overhyping Ron. I'm just, I don't know. It's interesting. No, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna stay a little bit longer, Scrub TV, because I do think I think we're hitting some interesting ground here. I think that so I don't know if they'd like literally artificially strengthen spirits because the spirits they'd have to like go to the spirit world and like get a spirit, which I mean they could do, um, but like not like as Pegasus said, going to as at least as far as what we know right now, going to the spirit world is that would be death. No one knows how to do that at this point. So but I think that last time we did set up that things that happen in the real world have an effect on the spirit world. So like Kaiba just existing, his pure strength of personality literally created Kaiba Man in the spirit world. It's kind of like there's a parallel there. So I could see how like Kaiba Corp, what you could do is like almost like weaponize that in the sense that like if you know that it's like the first stage was like, hey, the spirit world kind of is affected by the stuff we do. That's crazy. The second stage of that was like, whoa, that means that like we can accidentally create spirits. Like Judai's dad created elemental heroes and like Kaiba created Kaiba Man. But then the third stage of that is like if you know that you can create spirits, you can like do it on purpose. Like it's not just like pure strength. So there's something there. There's definitely something there where like you could figure out some way in the real world to artificially do something big enough. I'd have to think about what it would be or what it would involve that like actually creates a new spirit in the spirit world. It's like I don't know. There's something interesting there. I'm trying to think. There's something like this in like another universe. There's like in some fictional universe where like whatever we do here affects the other one. There's something there, but either way. Um, Nicole, great question. Yes, Anzu does love United We Stand. Um, I was thinking about whether or not she should. She does. I think that as of now, at least, she does. It doesn't represent the same thing that it used to represent, but she does still have it. Um, but you know, I guess I'll just because you did specifically you hit this. I've been thinking about this a lot actually. I was thinking about whether to have it in her deck in this chapter. She does still have it. I think that if the fight were hypothetically to get worse, if they were to, you know, we might see her take it out. But I'm kind of hinting that like she might not have it next time. But this time she still has it. The fight happened. They've broken up a little bit, but um yeah. No, Matthew Turner, absolutely. The spirits could manifest in the physical world. It would involve some sort of transportation between worlds. So Kaiba Corp, good. You did put the word eventually. I missed the word eventually in that message. So tournament dropping, you know, Gungnir, I'm not 100% sure. What I'm going to try to do is on the other channel. Remember, full tournament squad on the other channel. It'll probably be out first on the other channel. Especially because I do want to make sure that when the video drops on this channel, that people actually like if you haven't even seen the tournament and you want to you want to watch the whole thing, you probably won't even click on it. So once you've seen the whole thing, then you can at least click on it. Even if you're not going to watch the whole thing, you can at least click on it. So I'm probably going to release them all on the other channel first, which is good for most of you guys because you want to watch the whole thing. The only thing is now I know that I put that poll out because I was like, oh, do I just put it out all at once or do I separate it into multiple videos? And obviously people want it all out at once, but then I realized that the videos might actually be ready. It might actually be faster for you if I just upload them like literally as soon as they're ready. But then they would be separated, but it wouldn't be separated in the sense of like, oh, this one, and then you gotta wait this many days, and you gotta wait this many days. It would be like literally the second that I finish the prelim rounds, I'll just upload those. But I'm not promising I'm gonna do that. I'm thinking about doing that. So that would kind of be in the spirit of the 8-hour answer in that poll, I think. Because the 8-hour answer was basically like, give it to us as soon as possible. Just give it to us all at once. But if I actually complete it in stages and then I have to like, you know, a few days wait or whatever, like, you know what I mean? Like, then I might just upload them as soon as they're ready. Then the 8-hour one could technically mean you're getting it later. So I guess that was kind of an unfair poll, but I don't know if I actually wanted I don't know. I'm thinking about that. So I'm not sure, Gungnir. I still need there's still some editing to do to get the like the final sort of well, obviously, just even to get the 8 hour version, there's still editing to do. But there's definitely still editing to do to get the like edited version for the channel. So I don't know. I'm hoping that like within the next week, I'm hoping that over the next week I can get it released. But I am sort of doing a new thing with the tournaments, so I'm still not sure about how long it's gonna take. Um, yeah. Oh yeah, Matt. No, that's a good point. I actually didn't even think about the fact that she actually has 3 now. She actually has more yet at least. And she didn't take Jinochi's and Hondas, I'll say that. So you know, she's rich now. So you know, she spent her she's super rich. She was on that wasn't her private jet, by the way. We're not This is not her. She does not own a private jet. She was on Pegasus's private jet designed by Junko's father. But yeah, she is super rich now. So she did spend her life savings on the United, and she bought 2 more. Cool. I'm glad that you understand Gungnir. Yes, I will definitely but I will get it out as soon as possible. Maybe a celebration or a tragedy make spirits. Maybe someone powerful wants to spread the good or bad, and that can affect the spirit world. Yes, yes, absolutely, Nicole. That's a really, really interesting point. I really like that. Because even in the moment where I explained that in the Cypher Red video where Edokuji was talking to Judai, like I showed the unhappy maiden, like I think it was our hopes, our sorrows, our fears, you know, these all manifest in the spirit world. Like, yeah, like sorrows, like a really tragic death, like could create a. I'm like, yeah, I'm liking this. I like experimenting a little more with like the kinds of things that create spirits. Um, Absolutely. I want to. What happened to this video here? I'm kind of hold on, guys. Okay. Last thing I want to talk about real quick before I go. I do need to go. Last thing I want to talk about is our little Anzu scene. Um, Maybe I'll just put it like here and then real quick. The intro for Anzu. I don't know. Did that work for you guys? We got the little guitar riff, Mahavilo. I wanted to do so much more with that, but I was again, it's one of those timing things. I'm like, guys, we just gotta go. I hope that the Anzu reveal was fun for you, but I hope that it wasn't. I know that it wasn't Yuki, it wasn't Kaiba, it was freaking Anzu. Hopefully, Anzu has gained enough clout in this universe that like people do somewhat care about her, even though she is Anzu. But oh no, somebody said that she was their favorite. So hey, I think that was Matthew Turner. You said it. You got Millennium Eye Anzu is up there for you. So and so yeah, I thought the Anzu section was really fun to make. Isis is now in the story, and she's a hard ass. She's very different than she is in the anime. There are traces of this in the anime, though. I think I don't want to give too much about her character because I think that I've really thought through a lot of why Isis is the way she is and who she is. She's criticizing. She's this. She's very self assured. She's very traditional. You remember back in Duelist Kingdom, I did say that Shadi was having problems with siblings, and that one of them was very traditional. And Isis is very traditional. She follows the Gravekeeper ways, and she does not believe in this Anzu shit. She does not believe in this giving the Millennium Eye to Anzu shit. You know, she's voting against all this stuff. And so I know Isis is very different than we know her in the show. Shizu, by the way, in case that wasn't, you know, in case it wasn't clear what I'm talking about. But I do think that once you get to know a little more about her character, you will see that it's very much based in the show in multiple ways, actually. And you will probably end up recognizing, you'll probably end up recognizing a little more of her. And then we got brain control. I've kind of brought this in as one of the things that invokers can do. Certain invokers that can brain control people, and also you can be brain controlled by Millennium items. And I know that it was kind of, you know, setting up rules is always tough, especially because we're not really seeing them in action right now. But yeah, the idea is basically it's like Pegasus with brainwash. It's like if you are how do I say it? If you are allowing yourself to fall, if you're allowing some of the worst aspects of your personality to get the better of you in certain ways, that is how you end up brainwashed. You have to, you know, you gotta, if you're happy, things are going great, like a Togi right now, that guy ain't getting brainwashed. You can't brainwash a Togi right now. Now, if things happen in the future for a Togi, who knows? But like, you know, someone like Bright right now, I'm definitely not saying she's brainwashed, but I'm saying like just giving examples, you know, like people that are not doing well, that's where you're more likely to see brainwashing come in. People that are doing great, that are happy, that are solid of soul, they're good. And then yeah, so I don't know. and then you can break it by basically by someone that is close to them beating them in a duel. And I'll give it some story flavor about how they fell into the brainwashing and what the person said and how they broke them out of it. Or you can just get rid of the thing altogether, which is how with Pegasus they just took the eye and it was like, all right, I'm good. So if it was a brainwasher, like someone like Yami Merrick from the anime, not saying we're getting Yami Merrick, but Yami Merrick from the anime who was brainwashing people, you can either brainwash one, you can either get one of the individuals free from brainwashing by doing the method I just talked about, or you could just beat Yami Merrick, and then obviously that would end it. Or you could get rid of you could take the eye away from the person. You get it. Okay, pre-watch wild prediction for that crazy chapter 6 you mentioned, based on one of the early first round duels. Darkness faction Civil War. If any of the IDK, if any of the players fought a fight between the ones who loyal to Pegasus and the ones who are loyal to their original master. Interesting. Interesting. Of course, as before, I just have to say I don't know to any of these. Arno, I cannot answer that question because it might implicate certain things. We don't really know everything about what's going on with Yugi, so I can't talk too much about his about his deck and what it would be or what it wouldn't be. Unfortunately, I got to keep that stuff close to the chest. Motor Merrick wants to be a motorcycle stunt man. Inevitable. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's not inevitable. Okay, you did pick up that is the if she would go, you guys did pick up that there was a hook there. I was hoping that I'm glad you picked up on it. I didn't want to make it too obvious because remember the Jinochi part was before we even knew she had the eye. So it wasn't like it was like, hey, nothing bad happened. And then it was like, oh, she's really salty about Jinochi. It was like, salty about Jinochi, set this up early. And then we learned about this other stuff. So, but I also don't want you to think that that's definitely an inevitable villain arc, okay? Like, the tournaments and who duels and what happens and all these things, that stuff does matter. We'll see how it goes. The seeds are there, as you said. The seeds are absolutely there. That could lead her down a path to darkness. But I wouldn't say it's inevitable. I would say that, the seeds are there, but hopefully she's able to find peace. Hopefully she's able to fight it. Maybe she's not. Probably depends on how the tournaments go, who she duels and how she does. That's, to be honest, probably how it's going to depend on. That's why I can't. She feared to her most powerful opponents. Yeah, she would be a terrifying. Okay, you guys are kind of. The thing is, like, I'm kind of like, no, guys, no. I don't really see that. Like, I mean, obviously it could happen, but I'm kind of like, it's not like where my mind's immediately going. But now you're making a good point, Nicole. You're making a good point. She would be kind of a sick ass villain. Give her the Mahavilo retrain. She'd probably get the Mahavilo retrain anyway. I'm trying to think of. I'd have to think of like what her like evil boss monster would be. Mahavilo could still obviously be it, but I feel like I want to think of a little more fun than that. I don't know. It could. Who knows? Who knows? Doing it very much almost every season of Brother of Use the Side of Light dual ghouls. I can't break. True, man. That is true. That is true. Okay. We're gonna call it. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed chapter 5. Please make sure you like the chapter 5 video. Yeah, I'm just so happy about this drop. A lot of people that loved it. You guys like really mean so much to me. You guys know how hard I work on this. And it's okay that I don't have a huge amount of people following. Because just like having some people that like obviously care about this and it means something to them. That's what I do it for. So really, really appreciate you guys. And I will see you soon. You will see me during the games, and I will see you when I inevitably start doing one of my other alternative series that I've got planned. So thank you guys. Love you guys. You're the best. You're the bestest. And